Happy Cinco de Mayo! Welcome to What's Growing at CMC, the weekly segment where I, Daniel,
and I, Talasha, share with you about some of what God is growing here at College Mennonite Church.
As we saw this past Sunday, God has been growing disciples.
We know that we are in good company when we say that we came away from those baptisms with hearts full of joy.
Days like that help us remember our own baptismal vows.
I have a strong sensory memory of a holy liminal moment when I kneeled and Ron Gingrich baptized me.
And my strongest memory is of my grandfather greeting me after the service, shaking my hand and saying, "Welcome, brother."
The call of Jesus throughout thousands of years manifested here in our world today.
We were grateful to the many people who stopped to support the youth and share stories on Sunday.
Several of you asked us about our sabbatical plans, and I told you that we would tell you all about it in this week's What's Growing. So, here you go.
Our next 4 months, like yours, center around the theme of Household of Stories.
The Clergy Renewal Grant from the Lilly Foundation is paying for sabbatical coverage here and will also be giving our family the opportunity for a once-in-a-lifetime summer.
The first part of our sabbatical will focus around digging into our stories.
In particular, the parts of our stories where we have gaps in our understanding.
So we begin by going to Puerto Rico.
My mom lived there as a young child, and we are taking my parents along so that she can share her memories with me.
In early June, we'll explore part of my story.
Daniel's ancestors got off a boat in Philadelphia and eventually made their way to Cass County, Missouri.
My parents will join us on a road trip, stopping at homestead areas of my ancestors from Philadelphia to Missouri.
Then we'll get a little time with our families in Missouri and Kansas.
The last stop in this digging in phase will be in Switzerland.
While we have done the Anabaptist tourism thing there, we've never had a chance to just dwell there.
Talasha's high school friend lives on a family farm in the Alps near Langnau.
We will stay with her, and Daniel will even get to work at a neighboring farm for a couple of days.
Part 2 of our sabbatical is developing our storytelling voices.
We will immerse ourselves in the storytelling culture of Ireland.
Our 3 weeks there will include long stays in Dingle, Sligo, and Doolin.
One of those weeks will be spent at the South Sligo Summer School, a week-long traditional music and dance camp.
Talasha will dance, I'll learn to play Bowron, Malachi will study penny whistle, and Zeph is going to learn Irish lilting.
So we hope to come back with new skills to add to worship here, along with new ways to tell stories.
Part 3 is creating our stories.
We will be mostly here in Goshen for our final month as our boys head back to school.
And during that month, we'll sit with what we've experienced.
We will each have retreat days and take some time to reflect and listen.
We'll spend time in the Pilsen neighborhood of Chicago, learning from the stories being told there.
And we will each find a way to tell a story of sabbatical to all of you when we return.
Part of our sabbatical plan is to practice storytelling as a family on a regular basis.
As long as technology cooperates, we will frequently post brief episodes on a family podcast, Stories and Stones.
If you give it a listen, you should hear some unrehearsed family stories of our days.
We will post the link for that in the comments.
For the next 4 months, What's Growing will be primarily told in pictures.
So send in your pictures to the church office. That way your church family can see what's growing in your life throughout the summer.
And when we return, we'll see what is needed and decide how to proceed with What's Growing.
College Mennonite Church, we are so grateful for all of you.
We hope your summer of storytelling is full of joy.
And we hope that this pile of stones grows tall and varied.
God was, God is, and God will be.
Thanks be to God.
reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing. There's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God.